Hey everybody, welcome to the Car Ride Convos Podcast. I'm Ryan.
I'm Kristen.
And I think this is number 3.
Yeah.
Awesome. And also, we're the only podcast that'll tell you what happened weeks ago. Right?
Yes.
Very old with the news.
Yep.
It's whatever. You know, it is what it is. It's no big deal. Yeah, so we're not doing anything special today at all. We're just gonna go get some food.
Typical.
As usual. I think that's like, don't you feel like that's what this like is turning into? Is like,
We went to UPS that one day. That was
it's
quite
true.
an exciting
But
day.
then after that though, we still ended up getting food though. So
Yeah.
it counts.
Yeah, that's true.
It counts.
Eh,
It counts.
I
Yeah.
don't even remember what happened in the last podcast. Not gonna lie. My memory
Technical
is, like-
difficulties. I remember that, and I think it was on a Sunday, I believe.
As always.
Yeah, as always. Yeah, what's
We
really
should name the podcast Technical Difficulties.
technical difficulties. Welcome to Technical Difficulties. This is Ryan
That
and
would
Kristen.
kind of be
We have no idea what we're doing at all.
Join our journey of failure. Come on, kids. That
Seriously.
would be great. Pooch. He's got a jacket on.
That dog has a coat on.
How cute.
I know. That's so crazy.
Hey, we're going a different way today. How exciting is that?
I know, which is really weird. I mean, is what it is.
Yeah,
You know?
it's exciting.
Yeah, we're giving you guys a little bit of behind the scenes action of what's going on. We are currently
Did not want to cross.
No, he did not. We are currently editing the first 2 podcasts, and I've come to the conclusion that I have really got to stop saying and yeah as like time fillers.
And like, I'm a bad accuser. What is the word I'm looking for?
Abuser.
Abuser, yep. Abuser of the word like.
It's weird. If you take the word accuse and you remove the C's and put B's, is that all that you're missing? Did your mind just do that?
I don't know.
I can't visualize
brain tumor,
accuser. I don't know. That's interesting. We should see if there's. We should see what's going on with that. Oh, see, I did it again. I gotta stop saying man. Like it's like, it has to do with my.
You also just said it's like.
But it's like. That's kind of funny. Like that's kind of funny in a weird way.
It's hard to listen to. Honestly.
Yeah. It is.
I'm really trying to talk slower so that I don't need as many filler words.
Yeah.
But I also feel like you and I constantly battle to like who's talking and who's louder because we're just annoying like that, I feel like sometimes.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to like take my time. I just said it again. Take my time in what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe I won't use it.
I feel like it all has to do with bridge thought. It's like words you use to fill the space in between separate thoughts to make sure your mind is still warm. Words like words like words like yeah. Except for yeah, I feel like is like kind of, I use it in 2 different purposes. I use it as a way to break silence because I'm very traditional in the sense that I'm very used to not liking silence. Like I just really,
Yeah.
so I
You have
use,
gotten better though.
I have. It's just for some weird reason, I'm just not content with silence. I feel like there needs to be constant dialogue that goes on and just talking back and forth and stuff like that. Yeah, and I don't know.
You have a couple weird ones though. Like you say yeah as if you're talking to someone else, even if it's totally silent. And then you also say, what is the phrase you use?
Man,
all
we're
the
saying
time?
in like a lot now.
Okay, relax.
No, I'm just saying like I'm just listening to myself and I'm like, wow, this is like very. It's probably not as big of a deal as I make it up to be. But continue. What are my other weird ones?
What's it called? Even though it has nothing to do
Yeah.
with finding out a name for something, you use it as
Yeah.
a segue all the time, and it makes 0 sense.
The other weird one that I have is what's it called?
I think it's holding bags of water or something. Are there goldfish in there?
Probably. Wonder.
What is that? I don't know. Okay,
Guy
sorry.
carrying plastic bags of water,
Of at least a gallon each.
like Ziploc. I don't know. That's weird.
It's strange. Anyway, side note.
Yeah, I don't remember what the other one is. The other one is something like. I don't know. It's like wait a second, like, or something like
you
that.
don't do
What's
that.
it? No, there's one that I will actually like use that's like comical. It's funny that I can't even explain what like words I even use.
I'll try to think about it, or at least maybe call you out on
It's
it.
like
when
hold a
happens.
minute, or I don't know.
Don't
Something.
say that. You're totally making up like dumb ones that literally no one says.
True. Very true. Very, very
I
true.
don't know. I'll think about it. I'll let you know.
Dude, you should, because I have absolutely no idea.
I don't know. It'll come to me.
I have absolutely no idea. So, what is going on? What is, about a week ago, the Super Bowl just happened.
Yes.
Is it the first Super Bowl we've watched together, ever? Have you ever watched the Super Bowl before?
I think we might have been at one of your siblings' ex-boyfriend's house.
Ex-boyfriend's house.
And Kyle was dating someone other than
Oh,
his
yeah.
wife.
That was back whenever the Pittsburgh Steelers played the Green Bay Packers.
You know, I wouldn't know.
Yeah,
but
no, I
that
remember
might.
that.
I didn't really watch it. I mean, I was there. I'm one of those people that goes for like the food and just kind of is like, go football.
That's true.
But this time, I feel like I was pretty. Like I tried to be involved. I'm really trying to actively like be involved in sports with you, or football at least.
Yeah.
One thing at a time.
I think the very interesting thing for me, at least, is that you actually do have a genuine interest for football. Like,
I want to have interests that are shared.
yeah, that's fine.
So
Yeah.
I had fun when we went to an Atlanta Falcons game because that's Ryan's team. I don't know, it was like 2 months ago maybe.
It was in December, yeah.
In Atlanta, which was so cool. Like that stadium is gorgeous and it was super fun. Like I know basic general rules about football. I probably drive Ryan crazy trying to ask him all kinds of questions.
Not at all.
What happened, or I don't know. It's a lot more like involved than I thought it was, and it has a lot more technical rules than I thought it did. So, but I mean, I think I can stay up. Like I know what's going on at least for the most part.
I think the really underrated element that a lot of female casual watchers of football would really love is just the drama of it all. Like there's a lot of backstory involved with like almost every game played. You know what I'm saying? And it's like literally, you know, I don't know. I don't want to say it's like, you know, Kardashian like reality show level drama, but there is a fair bit of
like give me an example
of drama.
Not at the Super Bowl, because I think that one guy getting benched was kind of dramatic, right? Wasn't that kind of
that was
deal?
very dramatic. That's kind of like the off-season, that's going to be the off-season drama, which, you know, we'll never find out what's going on, but Malcolm Butler getting benched by probably Bill Belichick probably, and that's going to carry over for a while, but it's not like he'll never say anything. It'll just be, it's performance related, and he, you know, I don't know if he's still sticking to the story that he was in violation of, you know, team rules and stuff. So that's a bit of drama aside from the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I don't know what you mean.
Well, so, like, if the Seahawks were to play the Patriots again, there'd be a lot of talk about how the Seahawks really dropped the ball against them in the Super Bowl, and they lost to the Patriots.
Football has a lot of, like, grudges. They just always, like,
yeah.
Like, there's no, like, fresh slate or clean slate for, like, each game.
Yeah,
it's like you're always going back to, oh, remember that time, like, 5 years ago when this happened?
Yeah, well, unless you're the Browns, there's really no grudges with the Browns. You can't...
Aren't they terrible, though?
That's the point. There's no possible way they could simultaneously hold grudges against every single team they've lost to, because they've lost to pretty much everybody.
Got it.
Very, very badly. But yeah, so this was our first... just together. We were just together.
Yeah.
It was our first Super Bowl we watched together.
Yep.
And I thought it was really great. I thought we had a good time. And
we did. It was a good game.
Yeah, it was really good. I don't know. Kind of predictable, I guess. In my opinion. Yeah, I mean, there's something about, you know, a quarterback that's kind of untested and everyone's really unsure of, that's actually pretty difficult to beat. I had like a mental breakdown just now trying to figure out what I was gonna say. I'm not as quick as I normally am today.
It's alright.
But yeah, there's something about it that's just like, it's very predictable that they're gonna win. Like when my team, the Falcons, we played the Eagles, there was a lot of like, oh, you know, they're the underdogs, it's gonna be a bye week and stuff like that. And all I could think of is just the idea that there's more to this than just the media narrative, because like I said, there's something to say about quarterbacks that are untested. And Nick Foles, a couple years ago, that dude was dropping dimes, man. He was playing his heart out, probably better than probably the best stretch of quarterback play, aside from Tom Brady's very elongated career of just every season he puts up good numbers and stuff. Possibly maybe even like a stint of 3 years with Drew Brees. But that one season, I can't remember a time that I watched a better quarterback play in that moment. I mean, something like 20-some touchdowns and like 2 or 3 interceptions or something for almost an entire season or something. It took him up into like week 9 to I don't know, something crazy like that I was just like, this is incredible. So there's something to really say about that. And when we played them, a lot of people were checking them off the board, and I was like, man, if, you know, Nick Foles comes in and plays to the Carson Wentz gameplay, I think we really have a chance. But if they decide to take it a different route, which they did, it's going to be a completely different game. And they used that same gameplay against the Patriots, and yeah, I just feel like they really didn't have much of a chance, but they did because of the Patriots, and the game was actually pretty close. So yeah, I don't know, it was a good game, and I enjoyed it with you, and it's really fun to see you really involved in sports. That's awesome. I mean, I don't know.
I mean, I feel like I kind of go in spurts. Like, I mean, my dad and I used to watch baseball together growing up, and he kind of like taught me the game of baseball. I mean, I played softball for like half a second, like one summer, which kind of got me more interested in that type of thing. And then I kind of phased out of that, and we watched basketball together, and he kind of like taught me the rules of that. And then I kind of just, and I never really was interested in football. I think it's just because of how insanely violent it was, and it just seemed stupid to me to be going after a ball and like having people just like ram into each other like full speed, and then, like, have people on the field that, oh yeah, concussion or paralyzed, or, you know, but it's all for the game, guys. Like, I just never understood that.
Yeah, I mean, they're really trying to clean that stuff up, but
yeah,
there will always be those guys that are like, you know, back in my day we could actually play football, and it's like, all right, dude, we just don't want people to die. Is that okay?
Yeah, exactly.
So, I don't know. People are always grouchy about everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I really had a good time. Halftime show, though. Let's talk about the halftime show.
Yeah.
That was interesting.
I really do love Justin Timberlake. Like, no hate on Justin Timberlake.
No.
I think he's insanely talented. I'm always excited, like, for new stuff that he comes out with, because it's always a little weird, but
he's not Taylor Swift or Bruno Mars.
Yikes. Yeah.
You know?
But I guess I felt like I was a little underwhelmed, like, just a little bit. I mean, I kind of was waiting for something, like, spectacular, especially since it's been, like, over 15 years or something that he had been there last time, and it was super controversial, obviously, with the whole Janet Jackson thing.
Yeah.
But this was, like, one of the only, like, Super Bowl halftime shows that I can remember where it was, well, this is probably me just not watching football a ton either, so correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like there's usually, like, at least 2 or 3 other people that kind of add to the mix, and you know, then they jump into like that other artist's songs, and they like collab and like do mashups, and it's like, oh man, it just continues to heighten as there's more and more people. And this was kind of like just hit one note, and the anticipation and excitement about it was like just slowly dwindling as it went on.
Yeah.
Not like he performed badly, because he didn't.
No.
But I don't know. I was a little underwhelmed.
No, I completely agree. And you're not wrong. There are normally, at least, if there's no one announced, normally they announce the headliner.
Yeah.
And then other people are just like there.
Yeah.
But if, like, there's at least a cameo. And like the cameo was supposed to be Prince, and there's all this controversy around that because of the fact that he's publicly said how freaky, holograms are and stuff, and it's just like,
I think that might have been
what would have been wrong if JT just played a cover of a Prince song on that piano, and there was just like purple all around the stadium, which, don't get me wrong, that the purple insignia outside the stadium was the pinnacle of the halftime show.
That was
it was
really cool.
really, really good.
Yeah.
But the hologram I thought was in pretty bad taste, and I don't know. Yeah, him playing a cover of a Prince song on piano would be really cool.
Mm-hmm.
And then if he was able to get like people who've played with Prince before, that would be really, really, really cool.
Yeah.
I'd really enjoy that.
I mean, are we missing something? Like the band that he was with, like were they somebody that I didn't hear about? Like maybe, I don't know, and I don't want to discredit if there were people there that I just didn't know.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like, oh my gosh, like it's in sync, like, you know what I mean? Like that was just adding to like, whoa.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, and not to mention, JT's new album is not super great.
I'm just confused by it. And like I heard the song and then I watched the music video, like I was already confused with like the direction of the song.
Yeah.
And then I watched the music video and I was just like, this is a little too weird.
I was thrown off because I was under the impression that I read a news article that he was going to be doing a country album, a country themed album or something.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then I listened to this stuff and I'm like, well, I hope this is not what he's talking about, because not that I'm like, oh, this is not traditional country, because
I think he has done a couple country songs, though, hasn't he? Or is this now I feel totally out of the loop.
I'm bad
when
at music.
was his last album? When did that come out? Because when he was like, when he sang with Chris Stapleton, who's so awesome, I feel like he had a few songs that he was performing that were like more country, like acoustic type of.
Yeah.
Where'd those songs go?
I don't know.
Are they from an album that's?
It's just one of those things. But I don't know. I was underwhelmed. The Super Bowl next year is in Atlanta at the new Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Yeah. And there's a lot of talk about, first of all, Falcons, come on, let's be the first team to be the home Super Bowl team. Let's just do that, just like Georgia did in the national championship. Let's just make those ticket prices absolute insanity. Let's do this thing. Let's do it. But so it's in Atlanta, and everybody's like, oh, let's bring in a bunch of hip hop, let's do it. But let's be for real about it, okay? So everybody's like, oh, let's get Outkast and T.I. and some other guy that I was like, what are you talking about? Outkast, I get a little bit, because I'm like, if they were to play one of their like early 2000s greatest hits from their first album or their second album, like a lot of those are really good hype tracks. But let's get some like new Atlanta hip hop up in there, not mumblecore or like mumble rap or any of that stuff. Let's get some real guys. I think Childish Gambino, my boy, is from Atlanta, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
What are you saying?
I just said, is he? I didn't know that.
Oh, okay.
I wasn't sure.
Yeah, I think he is. Pretty sure. But I know that he's spent a lot of time, a lot of different places. I know he's been in New York for a while and LA for a while and stuff like that. But I think he's from Atlanta, and he's retiring Childish Gambino here in the next couple of years. So
that'd be like pretty cool.
That would be very cool, and he's a great performer. but let's throw other people in there. I think Migos is from, and he's like kind of like somewhat of a new Atlanta hip hop figure a little bit. I believe he's from Atlanta.
I have no idea who that is.
Oh, Migos? You don't know who Migos is?
Well, I don't really, I don't really listen to.
You don't listen to good music, you mean?
Okay. Thanks.
But there's tons of other ones that you could really choose from. I just don't want the old timers like T.I. or any of those guys. Like, I don't know.
There would probably be at least one, don't you think? Like they'd bring like some.
I don't know, man. I don't know. But I also do really bad with hip hop. I confuse the St. Louis rappers with the Atlanta rappers, which is that's a cardinal sin, and I do it all the time. Like, I'm pretty sure Nelly is from St. Louis, and I've said multiple times he's from Atlanta. I also keep on thinking that T.I. is from St. Louis, and he might be. But I'm basing this off of like I saw an ESPN video of them talking about hip hop in the Super Bowl. But like, let's do it. Like, let's. When Atlanta played in the Super Bowl a couple years ago against the Patriots, and that was in Houston, I was like, let's get some hip hop up here in honor of Atlanta. Let's do this. But that's a little bit of a stretch because you're playing in Houston, and that's a neutral. Like, you kind of don't want to favor teams too much.
Well, I have a question though.
Sure.
Like, do you think that they would even really go? Like, would they actually even do a rap, hip hop / like themed performance when the Super Bowl, is kind of out of touch with the favor of a lot of people now anyway? That I feel like for the most part they do try to do things that are like quote unquote family friendly entertainment.
Neutral.
Like, do you think that they would?
But there's a lot of rap and hip hop that's.
And I'm not saying
that's family friendly.
Right, and I'm not saying that it's not, but I think just the whole vibe of hip hop or rap, like I think a lot of people, unfortunately, probably people who don't really know anything about it too, to some degree, kind of like tag that together with like a negative, aggressive.
Well, the NFL, they're trying to balance themselves right now, and they are trying to meet the needs of all of the people who, watch because of the whole kneeling thing, which, needless to say.
Anyway.
I think I've already opened a box of worms here.
I think it's a can, not usually a box. But
sometimes it depends on who your worm guy is.
Do they put them in boxes? You know what?
It's a can.
Every time that I've seen worms, so if you buy them at like bait tackle shop or whatever, is they're in those little Tupperware things, like that you get Indian food in.
Oh,
or
really?
Other random yeah. That's what I've seen.
I've always gotten them in styrofoam containers.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. I mean, this is like, I'm saying I've always gotten them, and I've probably gone fishing like 3 times.
No, I know. Same here. I don't even know how to. I'm so out of touch with fishing. I don't even know how to cast anymore. It's pretty bad. But yeah, the NFL, they're trying to keep things balanced between all their viewers. They want to be patriotic, yet make sure that they stress that America is about freedom and people using that as a platform of free speech. But at the same time, the NFL, if they were to make a rule, they have every right to enforce the rule, but they just want to be as neutral as possible in the situation. And it's not tearing them apart. It's just one of the first. Exactly, that's exactly what's happening. But the ratings are down by like 9% or something like that. But it's kind of in the NFL ratings being down 9% is the equivalent of the Apple iPhone X sales, about how they're quote unquote disappointing.
Yeah.
But they're disappointing because it's the first phone that hasn't outsold the previous.
Oh, I see, sure.
Which that's kind of like calling that a disappointment is hilarious because, that's just, I don't know, that's just what it is. But yeah, you're completely right with that, where they really want to keep things as neutral as possible. Like, if they could have Taylor Swift, Bruno Mars, and Tim McGraw, insert some famous country singer at the time, like performing all at they would love that. They would love to do that every year because of the fact that they just want to appease every demographic.
I think there's a lot of people, I mean, even from just like what I've heard, like going to work and stuff, people that aren't necessarily interested in football, I would say a lot of people have said, oh yeah, we watched like the second quarter, the end of the second quarter, because we wanted to see the halftime show. Like that's a thing, like people don't watch the game, but they will tune in to see the halftime show. And they're going to lose probably, I would think, a lot of viewers if they choose to do something that might be a little bit more...
Yeah. I remember the reason why I didn't watch the Janet Jackson, Justin Timberlake thing was because Nelly opened, and I remember my mom getting kind of upset that he was kind of like grabbing his crotch area or whatever, but he kind of wasn't. Like, I remember looking, I watched it back, and I was just like, oh, he's just like holding up his pants because his pants are too far down, you know. Which, you know, let's question the usefulness of those pants if you gotta hold them up, right? I mean, come on now.
I was at a church potluck, and it was like all the kids were downstairs like playing ping pong and board games and like, yay, let's go watch the halftime show. And, you know, everything happened, and the parents were horrified and like jumped on their children to like close their eyes and stuff and acted like, you know, they just saw someone get murdered on live TV or something. And we were quickly shooed away, and the boys obviously were laughing hysterically, and the parents were like horrified. But you know, it was a good memory.
Well, it's funny because it was kind of like the time that was somewhat on the fringe of the digital internet age. Like the internet existed, but it's not like the current news cycle of now.
Oh man.
That's right. Do what you gotta do. Guys, we're trying to manage this so hard in here.
I don't know what to do now. Like I said,
is it on?
I just pushed this back on, so it's on. It just stopped recording, but like I just pushed this to like have it come back out. You think it's set to where it was?
Yeah, no, 100%, 100%.
I won't touch it then.
I'm pretty sure it's exactly where it needs to be.
Okay, I think we're back at this.
Yeah. So.
This is performing well.
Yeah, it's not bad. Let's just buy a bunch of iPhones, like, you know, whatever.
We have money for that.
Yeah, a bunch of $1,000 iPhones.
There's probably actually some junky Androids
we could buy, and those actually have interchangeable SD cards on them. Some of them do, and they're like, I wonder what the Pixel's expensive, but I don't know, whatever. Let's not get into that right now.
Yeah.
Technical stuff is stupid, and we hate it. But it was on the fringe. That moment was on the fringe of the digital age where the internet existed, but it's like we live in like a 10-minute news cycle right now. Just did not exist yet. So basically, I didn't hear about it because I had to turn it off. I didn't hear about it until the next, maybe the day after or the day after that, whenever I went to school next. Because it would have been Monday. Monday I would have gone to school.
Okay.
And I heard about it. And yeah, I was just like, I was dumbfounded. People were telling me, and I was like, no, there is no way that happened. That is like,
oh man,
it was like a bombshell, and it was like such a huge deal at the time. And you know what? This is also very controversial as well, but you know what? Big freaking deal. Like, honestly, like nowadays, oh my goodness.
Well, the thing that I'm a little surprised by is like even when they show videos now of like, you know, craziest halftime moments or like, you know, compilations or any type of a clip from that, I have yet to see one, and again, correct me if I'm wrong, where because from my memory, I could have sworn that like her controversial parts of her boob were like had like a tassel on it anyway. So
it's been a while since I've actually seen.
Isn't that what's considered like a boob nowadays? Is like showing your nipple? Like,
oh yeah.
So why would we even? It's like you said. In today's day and age, it seems like, oh well, you know, her nipple's covered, so like it's fine. Like you could just like, you don't have to censor the video now. Like
yeah.
It is strange.
It's very weird. Like I just look back and now I'm like, that is such a. But you know, it was in the most conservative time. I think that was only a couple years out from the first season of Jersey Shore, I think, maybe. I don't know. And I think that Paris Hilton show, which I find, I'm not sure what that was about.
Oh, with
But that
Nicole
seemed,
Richie?
yeah, that seemed like, I remember watching the trail, like the commercials for that, and I was like, woo!
We watched
This
a few
is-
episodes. It was just so dumb.
I was like, this seems kind of edgy, man. I don't know.
What was that called?
The Good Life? Or The Simple Life?
The Simple Life. Wasn't
Simple
it?
Life? I don't know, something.
Yeah. They like lived on a farm. But then I
Yeah.
think they had a few other like seasons, maybe one other season,
Yeah.
where they, I don't know if they were at a farm.
Yeah.
They went somewhere else though, I think. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, let's take a sidestep here for a second. Just a little bit. Paris Hilton. Let's stop making stupid people famous. Like, that just sounds like a great idea.
You know, I think we're way too deep in the hole that is like that's gonna take a long time to come out of.
It's so dumb.
long time.
It's so dumb. I mean, like, you know, whether you support him, whether you do, whether you don't, you know, Trump is also not the smartest tool in the shed. Brightest crayon in the box,
Yeah.
sharpest tool in the shed, whatever you want to
Not
say.
putting it nicely.
Yeah, I mean, and
But-
that's, yeah, it's like, and his kids are all incredibly vapid and just have very, at least, you know, from my experience, have very little going on behind their noggins. And
What?
he's the leader of the free world.
I know.
That's the best part. But yeah, I mean, like, I feel like even if you support him, you gotta admit that he is kind of, you know, he's kind of an egghead.
Yeah.
But so,
I think
but
that's
he's not as
entertaining
bad.
to people, though.
It is entertaining.
Like that's something
It
that's
is entertaining.
unfortunate. I mean, like even like look at YouTube. Unfortunately, like some of like the biggest people who are big nowadays, like you know,
Yeah.
hint,
Hint, someone.
you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I just like that's entertaining to people. It's like the shock factor,
Yeah.
or like it's just like it's anything but safe.
Mhm.
Like safe now is like boring, even though it seems like so many people are like crying out for like give me entertainment that is legit and not like mind-numbingly stupid.
Yeah.
But I think the people, I don't know, is the greater majority of people stupid? That's a
I
question.
think, I mean, I don't want to rag on people too much, but I think the baseline for humanity is pretty low as far as IQ. Like, there's
Aw.
something like, so network television is the most watched, you know, TV stations, your regular antenna stuff.
Yeah.
And I read a study that said that the dialogue in those shows are something at a 4th or 5th grade reading level.
No, but I think that's true. I think that's also said of like brochures for like any type of. I think usually like medical type procedures they keep it at like a 4th grade reading level.
Yeah.
Pamphlets of any type that are like you know distributed to like the general public. I think that is true.
Well, it's just scary because some of these people are in charge of stuff. You know, like, I'd be okay if it's like, oh,
Yeah.
well, they're all deadbeats. No, some of them actually are in charge of people and saving lives and other things like that. And it's like, that's, to me, that's a little scary, a little bit.
A little unnerving.
And not a lot of people are talking about it, you know? But I'm also the person
Yeah.
that has a problem with the elderly driving, so I don't know. You can just call me a crank.
I mean, I think we should. I've seen some very spry, you know, like 90s, but I do think at least something. I've seen people come in, you know, to where I work that are like, you wonder how they got there. Like, wait, did you drive yourself? And like, yeah, sure do. Still driving myself. Take care of myself. And I'm like,
That's scary.
ooh, you might want to get that situated.
Yeah. Very
So
scary.
maybe just a refresher driving course or something.
Well, there
at
are
age-
some states where you have to, at a certain age,
Oh, is that actually?
retest. Yeah.
That seems like a good idea.
It does.
Just for
They're
safety
annoyed
reasons.
about it, but I've seen the statistics as far as elderly drivers, and people are like, oh, 18-year-olds, they get in more they get in just as many car accidents as elderly. It's actually not true. The elderly actually get in way more car accidents, and I've seen a lot of them where they're driving, and I'm like, oh, you're out of control right
Well,
now.
do
You
you-
have no control over what's going
Do you
on right
remember
now.
that guy? I think it was. I want to say it was in Illinois. It might have been in where we were. I know. Well, anyway, there was an elderly. I think it was a couple, but I don't know if it was. I don't know who was driving. But anyway, who drove into the side of like a Chili's
But then it's like he had done that like a week before also to a different place.
Wow.
And then I think it only became a thing because I think there was more damage maybe caused at the Chili's. Like he went through like a brick wall. They were fine, I think, but it was still like, what is happening? Why is this a thing?
That's the most Chili's story I've ever heard in my life.
Do you remember that? No?
No, I don't, but that's hilarious. In like the
I remember
most
going to Chili's and
morbid
seeing
way.
it.
Oh, really?
Seeing like this was obviously not when it happened, but it was all like roped off and whatever.
That is so
they were
funny.
like repairing the damage.
That's funny.
That part
I
of the
hope no one got
restaurant.
hurt. I hope I'm not laughing at people getting hurt.
No, I don't think anybody was hurt. But,
Okay. All right. Well,
it was
hey.
just such a freak accident.
It is what it is. Yeah, so we went from making stupid people famous to the elderly driving. That's a pretty impressive step, in my honest opinion. But yeah, we gotta stop making stupid people famous because, I mean, like in the most literal sense, the leader of the free world is one of those people, and he speaks for all of us. But like, even high-end celebrities like Kim Kardashian and stuff, other countries look to those people to kind of speak for us, and it's like, you know, maybe not.
Because they're the most popular people.
Yeah.
They're the most popular Americans.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, this is the face and the voice of America.
Yeah.
Because these people are the ones that put on the pedestal. And then the rest of us who are like just common folk, like, oh, Jesus.
Yeah, like whenever I see Denzel Washington or, you know, George Clooney or something, and they're in like a really intense interview, I'm always calm, and I'm just like, you know, they got this. And then I see like Kim or Kanye or Paris Hilton. Paris Hilton's kind of old. Like, that's not really a thing anymore.
Yeah.
Katy Perry with that famous Neil deGrasse Tyson interview. I get so scared. I'm like, what are they gonna say?
I know.
Is math
What are they
related to
gonna say?
science?
Like, I really hope we don't die. But
I know.
you know, I don't know.
Yeah.
Let's just, you know, let's stop doing it. Let's start making smart people famous.
I think it'll be interesting too to see what happens in years to come as far as like elections go, because I think this whole Trump thing obviously broke down this wall of like, oh yeah, but celebrities, like, they can do this stuff too.
Yeah.
Like, why do we care what celebrities think? That's what I want to know. Like, I'm not saying they're stupid, but I'm also saying like they're popular because they're good at this certain thing.
Yep.
Why are we putting them on this pedestal of they must know what's important in politics and how to take care of me as a general public American? Like, they know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't care if you're the smartest celebrity in the world. If you run for president, I will not vote for you. Like, it's just, I hate that that's open now, where it's like, oh, well, one celebrity did it, let's throw a bunch of others, and it's like, no, please.
I know.
For the love of God, don't do it. Please.
It's gonna be scary, I think.
Please.
Yeah.
Please. Well, we're here.
I'm so hungry.
Me too. I'm starving.
So
And
hungry.
by the power of movie making, we
that
will
work?
be back. And we're back.
You didn't clap like you did before.
Oh, boom. We're back. We're good.
I like when you clap.
You like when I clap? I'll remember to clap whenever I do that.
Somebody in the car.
He's a little child.
Kill the children.
I will not. I will not. I will not. It's okay, their door was not really that open, so pretty much all safe. So what did we come into talking about? What was going on?
The celebrity. I don't know.
Don't make dumb people famous. I don't know. That's kind of.
No, we had gotten off on a tangent about tangents. I got like a lazy tongue for a second. I know what the word tangent is.
I do that way too much.
And we were talking about how with Trump being president, like, the wall has broken down of
Your phone. Directions to get out of here.
Oh, sorry.
I totally forgot how to do that.
So sorry.
Not how to do that. I just forgot I needed to do that. Just get me home. To the place where I belong.
West Virginia.
Proceed to the route.
Proceed.
Let's talk about how ominous proceed to the route is. Like, what are you talking about?
Is that ominous?
Not really.
Not ominous.
Let's see. So we talked about the past, talked about the Super Bowl, talked about Paris Hilton, talked about all that stuff. And now let's talk about the future.
Ooh.
Future stuff. What is going on? What's coming up?
What's coming up?
What is the dealio?
I've seen one trailer for a movie that I'm really excited about.
What movie?
I always forget the name of it, but I think it's called Silent or
Oh, the one that John Krasinski and
Yes.
Emily Blunt did. Yeah.
Like it looks so cool, and I'm hoping that they continue to put out trailers that are very vague and you don't really see what's going on. And I just hope that it's what I wanted, like It Comes at Night to be, because I feel like the trailers for It Comes at Night, like the advertising for it, like some of like the posters and stuff that they had were like so creepy and so weird, and I was so excited about it and really disappointed in it.
Yeah.
And since John and Emily both, I think, wrote this movie that I can't remember the name
Really?
of,
Wow.
together, I think, that's why I'm also really excited and I'll have to double check that. I'm pretty sure that is true though.
I know they at least one of them directed it.
I thought they wrote it too. No? I don't know.
Maybe. Who knows?
Either way, I love them, and it'd be really cool to see them both in like serious. I mean, I know he's done a few too, but I haven't really seen a ton of serious roles from both of them.
Yeah. That does look good. I kind of think the trailers and stuff kind of have the opposite effect on me as It Comes at Night, because the Super Bowl spot for it, I saw something. It kind of showed like a reveal of kind of what it was.
Oh, the creature thing?
Kind of.
Oh.
And I kind of don't like that. I kind of, if you're going to reveal it in the movie. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to, I'll go see your movie. It's just like It Comes at Night. I went to go see that movie because, you know, it was cool. It was a cool idea that maybe he was something after them. Maybe he was nothing after them. I liked that, and then was disappointed with the way they handled the outcome of that movie.
Like, I almost wish they would have either done, like, full scary creature, like, killing things at night, or full theoretical, like, just the amount of anxiety is, like, what, like, their paranoia is what, you know, comes at night. But it was, like, this weird mishmash of, like, oh, wait, so there's a illness, or there isn't an illness, or where did it come from? It was just too... It was, like, there were so many questions I had still at the end of the movie.
It was a good movie. I just thought the way it was handled was just, like, I don't know. It's kind of like when we saw Mother, and we were like, oh, man, this movie is about this, and about that, and about this, and about that. And then, like, you watch the interviews with that guy, Darren Aronofsky, who's, like, from Brooklyn or something, explain it, and he just gives these really obvious answers. And he's like, well, I thought it'd be a good idea to make a movie about the Bible. It's like, yeah, okay, I understand that. I totally understand that. There's nothing more to it than that. Because there's some things in there that he doesn't even finish, where he's like, well, I mean, did you see the plagues? Yeah, but you didn't finish the plagues, though. Like, there's a couple that are overtly left out of the movie.
But her character was still something like Mother Nature or something, though, wasn't it? Like, and why was it in this house? Like, I don't know. It was... Yeah. It was very strange.
Yeah, which, I mean, very strange. Growing up in, like, a conservative, like religious family and stuff like that, Mother Nature and you know, the Bible are not exactly synonymous. There's actually a lot of fighting. I'm sure if you were actually read the Bible and stuff like that, you know, like people tend not to do, you'd actually be able to find some like very compelling evidence that it's like, oh no, like, you know, this whole idea of Mother Nature, which that's kind of like a banned, that term is banned in religious circles like that and stuff like that. But I think if you were to read the Bible, you'd find that there's a lot of things that are more similar in that sense than.
Well, I think because the Bible, I think if the whole Mother Nature thing is like Mother Nature would technically be God or replacing God, taking
pretty much,
care of.
and people take offense to that, but it's like it's not really about a mother, like Mother Nature. What it's talking about is an entity that is the bringer of life, and mothers, that's what mothers are like. And so that's probably a term as old as time. I don't know when that dates back to, but it's just like there's probably some sort of explanation for it.
Got so off topic.
Yeah, we're talking about movies. We're so off topic today. Things are getting really bad.
Yeah, it's very jumbled. I don't know. My brain is like in a haze. I don't know.
No, we could actually have a good segue here. We could actually.
Okay.
It's a Tesla dealer.
Segue.
Tesla, if you want to actually spend advertising money, hit us up.
Oh yeah.
I'll drive one of your cars around and do my podcast in there.
Yes,
no problem.
please.
I'll talk about how amazing it is and how I dream of launching into space one of these days.
Yeah.
So here's a good opportunity. You should look up speaking of movies, the Oscars are coming up here around the time of my birthday.
That's exciting.
Like usual, like every year. Is very exciting.
Okay.
Unlike last year I decided I didn't want to put any money down and bet the Oscars, and that turned out to be a miserable mistake because I would have cleaned up pretty hard. And this year I decided to do it and commit, and I think I have some really good thinking behind a lot of it. Again, I'm throwing money at it knowing that I'm going to lose it. I really don't have anything. I don't think I'm going to come out on top at all with these things. But yeah, I don't know. Let's go through it. Start with what do you want to start with?
Do you want me to look at the ones that you did, or like what's actually nominated?
What's nominated in like a whole list, and I'll explain to you like my thought process behind like what I.
And you're only doing like big things, right?
There's a couple smaller things, but just go through it.
I mean, because this is a list of everything that's.
Go for it.
Like best animated short film.
No. That's very small. That's very small.
Okay. No offense to short films.
No. Short films are cool.
What about best animated feature film? Is that?
Nope, I didn't do that one because I didn't want to bet against Coco.
Oh yeah.
Coco would have been
best original music score.
Did I do that one? I don't believe I did.
Best original song.
No.
Best supporting actress.
Nope.
This is going really well.
No, I know.
Best supporting actor.
No.
Best director.
Best director. Yes, I did.
Okay.
I did do two of those.
Okay.
Two of those.
So the nominees are
Guillermo
del Toro for The Shape of Water.
And they don't have the favored one. Okay, keep on going. I think he's the favored one. Guillermo is.
Oh, this is literally just
That's fine. Okay. That's fine. I can just make it up in my head.
Jordan Peele for Get Out.
Okay.
Greta Gerwig for Lady Bird.
Okay.
Christopher Nolan for Dunkirk.
Okay.
And Paul Thomas Anderson for Phantom Thread.
Okay. So I bet 2 in this category actually. And I think my thought process behind this is really good. So if I remember correctly, Guillermo del Toro won Best Director at the Golden Globes. Okay?
Yes.
And did. So, I think he probably deserves it, probably. But I feel like if we're gonna switch the narrative here.
Do you still need this?
Nope, all good. Okay. If we go the narrative route, which I think is really smart when it comes to the Oscars, my bets were Greta Gerwig for Lady Bird.
Yes.
And Jordan Peele.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, if you look through those pictures.
Okay.
And it'll tell you how much I bet and So for Greta,
is the risk, I'm assuming, what you bet, right?
Yeah.
So $10, the big spender.
Whoa! Yeah, she's probably the favored one in that list that I'm like, I'm pretty sure I could see her winning it.
Okay. And then.
And how much is that?
To win is $70.
$70. Yep,
So
that makes sense.
If she gets it, you get $70.
Yep.
Okay.
$10 down, $70. Yeah, that one's not as risky.
Jordan Peele.
Yeah.
The risk is $9.95. Not sure why there was a.
I just had to clean out my account.
discrepancy. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
And to win would be $248. $248.75.
Cool. So we'll see if one of those that
All
category. Right. I don't know. I could see it. But if Guillermo does not win it, it's one of those two. It's one of those two that's gonna win.
I totally agree.
I totally believe that mindset. But it's not going to surprise me if Guillermo doubles and gets the Golden Globe and the Academy Award.
We still need to see that movie. I still need to see Lady Bird, Shape of Water. Those are my two top.
This is one of the few years where I've done so bad. I have not seen any of the movies. As opposed to last year and the year before, I've seen like pretty much all of them.
Mm-hmm.
So next one.
Okay. So what else do you have? Best costume design. Oh,
Yeah.
Look at you.
Yeah. See. Okay. This one's a good one too. So
Okay, let me go to the category.
Sure.
It might take me a second.
This one I feel like this one's my real smart pick.
Okay. So best costume design. The nominations are Mark Bridges for Phantom Thread,
Mm-hmm.
Consolata Boyle for Victoria and Abdul,
Okay.
Jacqueline Duran for Beauty and the Beast,
Okay.
Jacqueline Duran for Darkest Hour also.
Whoa.
Wow, good for her. And then Louis Sequeira, I don't know, probably butchering his name, Sequeira, for The Shape of Water.
Cool.
And you bet on The Shape of Water.
Absolutely did.
I don't know. Have you seen Beauty and the Beast?
No, but you know who's the favored one? By far?
This guy?
In that category. You know who's favored in that list?
Who?
Phantom Thread.
I don't even know what that movie is.
It's about old school fashion. Old school fashion designer.
Oh, well that makes sense.
Yeah, and so the Academy loves designs like that. Victorian. I think I remember the year that Anna Karenina was nominated for it. I think they won it.
They're so elaborate. I mean,
They're very
they
elaborate.
Are very elaborate.
But man, if anyone's gonna beat them and change their mind, especially if Guillermo del Toro does not win Best Picture or Best Director, you better believe they're going to give them Best Set Design or Best Costume Wardrobe thing. That's just my
costume wardrobe thing.
Yeah, costume wardrobe thing.
Best costume design.
Yeah. You've gotta just. That's
So,
gotta be. That's gotta be up there.
The only risk is $5 on that one.
Yep.
But you could win 60.
Yep. Exactly.
So that's exciting.
But that covers my bets though. If I win that and I lose everything else, like that's not bad. And I think I even come out a couple dollars. I'm such a
whatever makes sense.
I'm such a stingy guy when it comes. And it's gonna turn out all the favorites are gonna win. It's just gonna be down the line favorite.
That's right.
But it's better than me sitting there watching Moonlight win when I was like, really? I was so confident this movie was gonna win.
Yeah. Okay, next category.
Yeah.
Let us see. Okay, best original screenplay. Let me go back to my list.
Yeah. Is that one that I have two? That might just be one. Because this is just like a long shot, but I could see it being, in some alternative universe, I could see this being picked.
For best makeup, there's 3 people nominated out of 6 for The Darkest Hour.
Wow.
Which makes sense.
Wow.
But how does that work, really? I mean, isn't that kind of like weird? Like, because you're all working on the same project, but this particular person did better than others.
Yeah.
I guess it's like, how do you categorize that?
I have no idea.
I know you all have different jobs, but
yeah, I don't know.
and I mean, if we're being serious, like, isn't the whole thing like just Gary Oldman, right? I mean, like, that's what that is it. That's the makeup.
Yeah,
like,
I believe
pretty
so.
much the whole thing.
Yeah, I mean,
Anyway.
that's your big project is Gary Oldman.
I got distracted, and now I can't find where I'm looking for.
That's fine. You were looking.
It's not adapted screenplay.
No,
right?
it's original
Why
screenplay.
is it right? This would make sense if it was just right next to that, but it's
But
not.
of course not. No.
So.
It would be too easy if it was next to that.
I know. Give me a hot second. Here we go. Okay. Best original screenplay.
Yeah.
Nominees are The Shape of Water.
Mm-hmm.
I can't read the name, so it's Guillermo del Toro and someone else.
Yep.
3 Billboards Outside. I don't know what.
Ebbing County.
Okay. Get Out.
Okay.
The Big Sick.
Okay.
And then Lady Bird.
Oh, did I do 2 in this category too?
Let us go back.
I think I may have.
You did. I think just one. It looks like.
Okay.
And you said The Big Sick,
Yeah. Big Sick.
which I think is a solid choice.
I would have done that and Get Out because I would.
That was good too.
See, I'm actually predicting that 3 Billboards Outside of Ebbing County is going to win the Oscar and the Golden Globes. It's already won the Golden Globe. It'll be the first time that's happened in a quick second.
For what?
Best Picture.
Okay.
And I feel like they're going to take all the other awards that they won during the Academy Awards, and they are going to delve them out amongst a lot of other like more deserving people and stuff. So
That's a thought.
yeah.
So that you bet $5
Mm-hmm.
and you could win $100.
Cool.
All right.
That's not too impressive. That's whatever. And then I think I think this might be my last one coming up here.
And then
I think is my really long shot. This is to cover my entire. If my narrative does not check out, this is what's going to happen.
well, we still have. Did we do Best Actor already?
Oh no, but that one's pretty. Yeah, I guess that one's a little bit of a long shot, but I just don't see a situation where I don't put money on him.
Daniel Day-Lewis
Daniel Day-Lewis.
for Phantom Thread.
Yes, for the Phantom Thread, and I know that Gary Oldman is favored to win, and he most definitely probably will end up winning because the Academy loves the most boring movies ever, and they love those crazy old-timey autobiographical.
Especially if you're torturing yourself in some way.
Yeah,
like
Daniel
he
Day-Lewis.
was in prosthetics, and it's like a big
Yeah.
thing.
And Daniel Day-Lewis, he is doing something autobiographical as well. But I just don't see a situation where I don't put money on Daniel Day-Lewis winning. And it has nothing to do with him retiring. He retires like after every single movie. I mean, it's like
Yeah, that is true.
it's not even a big deal anymore. I just can't imagine me not putting money down on him, especially when his odds are something crazy. What are the odds on him? It's pretty bad. Like his odds are bad.
15, wait,
Should be plus
1,500.
Yeah, that's terrible for Daniel Day-Lewis. Oh my goodness, it's crazy. So
Okay, so the last one is the Best Picture.
Best Picture, which is the longest shot out of everything I have done.
And the odds are plus 3,300.
Yep. And this is if if my theory is wrong about Ebbing County going 2-0 for the Golden Globe and the
Wow,
Oscar.
there are so many. So there are 9
Yeah, there's a lot.
nominees for Best Picture.
Yep.
So the list is The Shape of Water,
Mm-hmm.
Darkest Hour,
Mm-hmm.
Dunkirk,
Okay.
Phantom Thread,
Okay.
3 Billboards,
Outside of Ebbing County.
Get Out,
Yep.
The Post,
Okay.
Call Me By Your Name, and Lady Bird.
Gotcha.
And
So-
Ryan bet $10
Yeah.
for God, it's so confusing. $10 for The Post to win.
Yep. If the Ebbing County narrative doesn't check out, I don't see a more relevant film to what's going on currently in the political climate and seeing the Academy grandstand like they always do.
I can respect that.
What?
I can respect that.
Yeah, but it's like plus 3,300, and I was just like, I don't know, Spielberg, the narrative behind The Post, all this stuff. I was
Yeah.
like, if it doesn't go to Ebbing County, I could see it going all the way down that list and it just being that.
Yeah.
And that was plus 3,300 odds, I believe.
It is.
and I put $10 down.
Yeah, so you could win $330.
Yeah.
I can't wait till the night goes by and you don't win anything.
I know. Well, you have to create a narrative in your head of the way things go. And the thing is there's so many narratives. You know what I'm saying? There's so many different things.
So why didn't you put any money down on the best actress?
Oh, I'm not gonna bet against what's her face?
Meryl Streep.
No.
Oh.
No. What's her face?
Frances McDormand?
Yes. I would never put money against her. It'd be like
okay.
putting money down against Daniel Day-Lewis. This is crazy. Not a good idea.
Solid category though. Sally Hawkins for The Shape of Water, Meryl Streep for The Post, Frances McDormand for 3 Awards, Margot Robbie, is it Margot Robbie?
Margot Robbie, I believe.
Okay. Margot Robbie for I, Tonya, and what's her name?
Saoirse Ronan?
Yes, for Lady Bird.
You gotta say it in Irish accent. You gotta say Saoirse Ronan. Saoirse Ronan. It's probably not what that is at all.
Probably not. Not meant to offend.
Yeah.
So sorry.
Sorry, Saoirse. If we can make it up to you if you come on the podcast. We can.
Oh my God! Stop! Please stop.
We could just actually.
Nope.
If you do hear this and you do want to be on the podcast, you can come, but only under the circumstances that you're in character from, not Lady Bird, because he'll just jump out of the car, but Harry Potter, and you just be really weird in the back seat, right? That would work.
Harry Potter?
Yeah. Yeah, she's Luna Lovegood in Harry Potter.
No, she most definitely is not.
Oh no, she's not.
No, she is not.
Who's Luna Lovegood?
Oh my
Who's that?
God. You are embarrassing.
Wow, I can't believe. I
can believe. You're the worst at recognizing people,
wow.
I feel like.
That's so crazy.
Jeez.
I could have sworn that was her.
Yeah, that was.
Look it up.
I thought you were joking.
No, that's crazy.
Sad.
Wow, no, I mean 100% serious.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
I could have sworn that was her.
And when you see her, you're gonna be like, oh yeah, this was not.
Wow.
I don't know which one she showed up in. Let's see.
It's one of the later ones, I believe. I can't believe, dude, I could have sworn that was like money, you know?
No, you're very wrong.
Who is it?
I mean, I'm sure it's gonna be nobody that you recognize.
Oh, okay. I could have sworn that was like where she got her start.
I'm trying to find her because
She's hidden.
there's a lot of people in these movies.
Oh yeah, there's tons of people.
Ivana Lynch.
Wow,
But
I don't even know who that
her
is.
face, so.
Wow. Oh yeah, she looks completely different.
Oh my God! Exactly.
Wow. That's so
Yes.
funny. Where do I know
Yes,
her
she
from
does.
then? Where did Ronan come from?
The only other thing that I've seen her in, and I'm sure she's been in other things, but was Atonement. She was Keira Knightley's younger sister.
Wow.
Actually gave the note. She was a troublemaker, but she was very. I mean, that movie. I don't know when that came out. I mean, she was little in that movie.
Yeah.
So.
I don't know. Yeah, man, I feel like my life has turned upside down. I've never been so sure about anything in my life.
Really embarrassing.
Well, you know, I guess that whole bit, just throughout the whole bit, that just wasn't funny whenever you just totally mischaracter somebody. But to my defense, though, not a big watcher of the Harry Potter movies. Not a.
Let's not talk about that.
People hyped them for me, and I was just like, and then they were like, you got to read the books. I started reading the books, but I was too old to read the books, and I was like, man, this is like.
You're never too old to read the books.
I don't know. They're clearly children's books when I was reading them. I was like, wow.
Let's not talk about that anymore.
I'm sorry. It's one of my more unpopular beliefs is that Harry Potter is just.
Ooh, don't say it.
No, I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not. I don't know. I don't get it. Well, yeah, that's so that's the Oscars. There's no prop bets. I would have loved to have some fun prop bets, like what color dress is.
What, can you bet on
Oh yeah, like there was a prop bet that I could have sworn I made for the Super Bowl, but I clearly didn't, and it was, and it was, what color hair is Pink? Is Pink gonna have? And I was just like, well, what color hair does she currently have? I can't imagine she's gonna change it for the Super Bowl. And I looked up on her Instagram or something, and she had blonde hair, and I'm like, blonde hair, and I just apparently never made the bet.
Nice.
Yeah, and it was pretty low too. I was like, oh, but I think I may have seen it, and I may have seen the blonde, and I was like, the odds were in favor, but not by much. It's like,
Yeah.
here's a couple bucks if you bet a couple bucks, sort of thing. I'm like, that doesn't get me hot and bothered, like putting like $5 down again, like 100. That doesn't.
Does betting get you hot and bothered?
No, not really.
That's a really creepy thing to say.
I have an addiction.
Yeah,
No, I was kidding.
We need to have a talk.
No. Yeah. So yeah, it's coming up in a couple weeks. Hopefully,
keep you posted with what he wins.
Yeah, we'll do the next podcast, and or maybe actually a couple podcasts from now, we'll go through and be like, well, this is what you did. You either did terrible or you cleaned up. Because I mean, like, if I get at least one of them right, it's going to cover my cost down, so I'll at least break a little bit over even. So that's not too bad. But if I lose all of them, that's like $35 or $45 down the drain or something like that. Which is whatever. I mean, what else are you gonna do?
Yeah.
I don't know. As opposed to, like, I feel really bad because I wanted to go crazy in on Moonlight, and I talked myself out of it, and I was like, no, don't do it, dude. Like, don't be that guy who makes like really crazy bets. And I have a friend that bets a lot in Vegas, and he was down there, and he's like, hey, who should I put money on? And I was like, dude, Moonlight, totally, and Arrival for the Hail Mary.
Oh yeah.
Arrival was one of the few movies that I was like, if a box office winner, if a blockbuster is gonna win the Oscar, it's gonna be this one.
Yeah.
I was like, this is not super bad. Like, it's like a very well done movie. Denis Villeneuve. I always want to say Villanueva, because I used to know some basketball players and football players that were called Villanueva, their last names. But he is like, that dude is on the mark with like every movie he does. And Arrival was no different. Arrival was a really good movie.
Yeah.
I really liked it. I think it accomplished some really, really good things, but those are not the movies that the Academy goes crazy for. They're not super into that stuff. More so than comedies. They hate comedies, but
Yeah. I know. Which is unfortunate.
Yeah, very unfortunate. It's funny, horror movies have won Oscars and not comedies.
And the thing that I find weird is that, like, the category, if a comedy is nominated for anything, it's musical or comedy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why do those fall under the same thing? Because I feel like more often than not, like, musicals are not close to comedic at all. Like, there's no... I find it weird that if comedies are nominated for anything, it's under the whole, it's in like a musical or comedy, like best musical or comedy or whatever. Like, those two things are together.
Mm-hmm.
And I find that strange.
Yeah, because it's like, it's either keep all categories separate or lump them all together.
Yeah.
It's like those are very different things.
Yeah, that's weird.
Like,
and I feel like they're like, oh yeah, well, this comedy was so good, whatever. And they're like, oh yeah, that's fine, we'll nominate it. But it's never like a serious...
Yeah.
Like, I found it so insanely weird that Robert Downey Jr. got nominated for, not weird, but because of the fact that comedies are never recognized for anything, that he got nominated for Tropic Thunder.
Oh, dude.
And he was great in that movie.
So great. And what's really crazy is you have a lot of people nowadays who are like, oh my goodness, like how he's in blackface. How racist is that? And it's like, yeah, it is, but not in the way that you think. Like, what?
Right.
Like, he's not...
And that movie came out, like, just before people started taking themselves way too seriously.
Oh, yeah.
So
Well, and the thing is what it is he's taking actors down a peg, where he's just like, oh yeah, a white actor would totally, because they're so full of themselves, go into blackface and portray a black character 100%. Like, this is how stupid some of them are.
Yeah.
And they even make light of the whole idea of them playing disabled people with Simple Jack, where Ben Stiller plays Simple Jack.
It's so bad.
And it's just so, and people are like, this is so wrong, and it's like, yeah, that's the point. Like, that's what they're trying to tell
exactly
you.
What it is
that it's wrong. And I think that it's so funny when people point out the obvious, like, and they think they're being very novel about it, and they're like, well, this is racist, well, this is prejudice, or, you know, whatever, and it's like, yeah, exactly. Like, you just understood the point of the character.
Right.
Like,
exactly.
It's so funny.
I know.
It's probably one of my favorite performances and favorite movies of all time. Like, that movie is, it's so funny. And making fun of how terrible the filming of that other movie that I am not, I always want to say Full Metal Jacket. It's not Full Metal Jacket. It is Apocalypse Now.
Oh.
Yeah, making fun of that movie.
I don't feel like a ton of people talked about Tropic Thunder, though, when it
No,
came out.
no, not at all.
And I don't feel like I know a lot of people that have seen it.
Yeah, and one of the few Tom Cruise performances that I just really, really, really loved.
Man. Yeah.
Loved, just absolutely.
The most admirable.
Yeah, like everybody's like, oh man, I love Tom Cruise, and I'm like, I kind of don't. And then with this movie though, I love him. Like, he's like, I was like, this is the perfect thing. I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. You know, it's just one of those things.
It's just one of those things.
Man, this is gonna be a long podcast, everybody.
It's gonna be a doozy.
This one's gonna be a doozy to edit.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's
Technical
okay.
difficulties.
It's fine. I feel like we've been pretty good on, you know, stayed on point pretty nice, which is good. You know?
I'm just really sad we didn't name the podcast Technical Difficulties now.
No, I know.
I feel like
we missed a really crazy opportunity.
We missed a great opportunity.
Yeah. Well, we might go with two names, you know.
Maybe.
That could be a thing.
Yeah, never know.
Well, that is going to do it for Car Ride Convos podcast number 3. Hashtag number 3. 3, right? 3.
3? Yes.
All right. Let's do it.